Join me this week as we put a wall in the upstairs of the Beachside Bungalow and we mark for wiring. Stay tuned and see how it all comes together. All right, our next step is going to be to prep for the wiring. And there's just a few things I want to get done before I start the wiring process. And one of those is any interior walls I want to have in. I'm only going to use one. We actually got 3. There's actually an interior wall for the bottom floor, and then there's 2 that can go up on top. I'm only going to be using one of the upstairs ones, and that's the only one I'm going to use. I might use part of this one, this bottom floor one, at a later date. I have an idea that I might want to do, but I haven't decided yet if that's how I'm going to tackle it or not. So we may or may not see this one later. But what I'm going to do with this will go in after the wiring. So if you're going to install any walls though and have wires against them, you will need to put them in now. I am going to put one of these, and one of these I've been kind of sanding on. I gotta see which one it is. I think it's this one. Because I have found that my interior walls are not, they're a little too tight to go in straight. So I am kind of sanding a little bit, and then I'm going in, I'm feeling where it is that it's off. And that's going to happen. Maybe something got put in crooked, maybe the wood is swollen, any number of things can happen. So I am going to, let's see, where exactly is it? It's right at this point. I've got room there. I need to knock this down right here. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to use some sandpaper. I'm going to get that sanded down to the point where it will stand in place, and then I'll be back. All right, I've got this sanded down to the point where it fits still really snugly, but it goes in and I can deal with it. And I drew myself some lines where I want the edges of this to be. I'm going to give myself a 6-inch space over here for the bathroom, and the rest of this is going to be a bedroom. So that's how this is getting laid out, just in case you were curious as to why I'm doing the things that I'm doing here. So I am going to coat this with glue. I've got off camera, I'm putting the wood glue onto the areas they're going to touch, and I'm going to have wood glue all over the inside, I know, because it's going to, there's really just no way around that. And I might have to shut the camera off to get this placed because I don't want to knock my camera down. That could be a very expensive thing to knock down. I'm going to try with you guys sitting there, but if it doesn't work, then I'm going to move you and put this in. Now I've got some wood glue on the floor. That's okay. It'll wipe up. I'm going to wipe it up right away. What do you know? It looks like I can do this without getting the camera knocked down. Now let me make sure I've got it. It is a very, very close fit. Right here, it's really, really tight. But that's good. That will help it to stay in place. I'm going to get my 6-inch ruler in there and make sure that front to back. All right, we are in the right spot. I need to go turn the camera off and go get a wet paper towel and clean up the mess that I made on the floor. I'll take some pictures so that you can, and I'll put them on the blog so you can see a little bit closer detail of where this is sitting. And when this glue dries, I'll come back and we'll do our next step. All right, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that one of the things I like to do is create tools to make the job easier. I'll make gluing jigs, I'll make different tools just to make things easy and make it easy to do things consistently. The next job we need to do in the dollhouse build is mark for the tape wire. What the first line of tape wire I'm going to run in the entire dollhouse is going to be a line of tape wire that goes 1 inch above the floor along every wall in the dollhouse. So I want to draw a line at 1 inch so that I can lay my tape wire right where it needs to go. It'll make it so much quicker when it's time to do it. This time I'm making a tool, and what I've got, any glue will work as long as it's like not a glue that expands as it dries. Like you wouldn't want to use regular Gorilla Glue, that would expand, that would be a mess. So would hot glue, don't use hot glue for this. But wood glue, tacky glue, you know, I've got 2 of these, they're like Jenga blocks. They're from the dollar store. You get a big box, big package of them for $1 at Dollar Tree. I've got a length of craft stick that's cut the same length, and I've got a short stubby pencil which I have sharpened. And I stacked these up. I thought first I could just do that. That was a little short. I found by adding that in it was just right. So I'm going to, okay, we'll just take that off. This is the one thing I don't like about this glue is this nozzle. The nozzle sucks. The glue itself is fantastic. All right, so I'm going to glue this down. I've got way too much glue in there. So I'll move some of it up here. Should have stuck with my skewer I was using the other day. That in there. And a pencil. And I made sure that my pencil was short enough it would go everywhere I need it to go. Oh, come on. Now I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to make sure these are lined up. And I am going to let that dry. When that's dry, I'll come back and we can wire or set up to wire the dollhouse. All right, I got a little bit wider view of my work area here so you can see everything that's going on. So the glue dried on this, and I decided to test to see if it was tall enough. It's not quite. So to test, this is the extra divider from the dollhouse kit that I'm not going to use. So I drew a line 1 inch up from the bottom, and I, tested it out, and I'm below. I'm just a little bit below. There will be pictures on the blog. So I had a chunk of one of these jumbo craft sticks that I've shown you in the past, and I tested out. I need 2 pieces of that to bring this up to the 1 inch mark. So going to be a really quick little bit here. We're just going to my glue is going to not cooperate with me right at the moment, so I am going to turn the camera off. All I'm going to do is glue this to this and this to the top of this. My battery is dying on my camera also, so I need to go plug that in, and I'll be back when the glue on this is dry. All right, my glue is set up, and I wanted to show you, I think this turned out looking hilarious with all the clamps on it, but I clamped it like this because I found that this was trying to warp right here. These 2 were trying to separate, and since I need them together so that this will be the right height, I did find I had to clamp it. So if you do end up making a tool like this, be sure and have some clamps on hand for that. So let's move over to the dollhouse and let's mark our main lines for where we're going to put our tape wire. All right, now hopefully you can, I've got you in a spot where you can see and the sound isn't too horrible. I actually have my camera sitting on the floor in the dollhouse so that you can see where I'm drawing lines. So we're going to mark first the first floor, and I'm going to have to rotate you around here in a minute. So we're going to take our tool, and because this now is at 1 inch, it doesn't be perfect. There, that's so easy, no measuring. Let's rotate you around. decided the tripod probably wouldn't work. And it doesn't really matter what's going to go along these walls in the end. Like this area will probably be my kitchen. And so there'll be counters in front of it. I'm still going to run the tape wire all the way around. So let's slowly move you over here. And we're going to go right up to the door. I've got the door sitting in there. I've got the door frame. Just one side piece is just taped in. I haven't assembled the door because I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I'm going to do the same thing on this end wall as I did over there. I think the light's okay. And now I am going to get my ruler because we are going to go, to get to the second floor, you go through the stairwell normally. That's the best way to go. And I am going to just have my ruler here so I get myself a straight line. The hinge pin for the door is on this side. So the door opens on this side. I very carefully marked the wrong side there off camera. I'm going to hold my trim in place and run a line right up next to that trim. That way I can, when I take the trim and untape the door, I'll be able to run a piece of tape wire right here, and that's what the front porch light will be wired to. So let me turn the camera off so I can move you upstairs and we'll mark for the second floor. Right, so now we are just going to move across. And oops. It's a little hard keeping this level across the stair opening, but I do want to keep it there, keep the line as even as possible. Then around the front. Under the window, let me move you, hold on, and along. And now, I won't be putting any tape wire on this side of this door. However, we do need to move into the bathroom area. All right, this is a little tighter. It's hard to do this around the camera. And then I'm just going to do this whole end wall, and I will be right back. All right, so now the entire inside is marked. As much as I'm going to mark it, I will probably run tape wire for a ceiling light for the kitchen. I think the only place I'm going to use a ceiling light will be the kitchen area. And I haven't quite figured out exactly where I'm going to put it. I'm hoping it will be under this bathroom area because I'm not going to keep the wood floor in the bathroom. I'm going to put some other floor treatment over that so I'll be able to cover up wiring for a ceiling fixture down here. Other than that, we are kind of going to be stalled until my order comes with my wiring stuff. So here's the thing. I had planned to start wiring. I have a transformer, I have a test probe, I have a lead-in wire, and I have tape wire. So I thought I was all set to go with the wiring. And I decided, well, I better test everything. So I set up a test strip, and it's not functioning. I don't know at this point if it's my transformer, my lead-in wire, my junction splice, or my test probe, but I couldn't get a positive test on any of that. So I have ordered new on all of that. Actually, I had to make 2 orders from 2 different companies because nobody had everything I needed in one order. So one has shipped, the other one has not yet. So if it will be in time for me to film wiring next week, I'm not sure. If not, I'll figure out a different project for next week. But that's where we are on the wiring. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure and check the blog post. If you have any questions, be sure and ask. The Facebook group is still usually the quickest and easiest way to get a hold of me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And share the links to my videos and my blogs with your friends so that we can grow the channel. And hit that like button on the video. That really helps YouTube to know to let other people see the video. So I will talk to you next time. Bye.